At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Slade's the place for you!
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present the state softball tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on an outstanding softball season. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
The spotlight is on the Iowa Girl this week in Fort Dodge. It's the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Tournament. It's Edgewood-Colesburg and Martensdale-St. Mary's, the 1A quarterfinal, 1 versus 8, here from Harlan and Hazel Rogers Complex in Fort Dodge. Hello, everybody. I'm Paul Yeager along with Andy Pollock. Let's start with Edco, Andy. This is a team that's 29-10, the 8th seed. They knocked out North Lynn. No stranger to the state tournament. They're a team that hits the ball well. You have to. You have to also pitch well. Rachel Eggleseder, 19-5, 1.46 ERA. When we get to this time of year, Andy, the ERAs get smaller and smaller because the pitchers get better.
Everyone we're looking at is college prospect or they've committed already. Every pitcher that we see in this state tournament, and pitching is at a premium anyway. You get pitchers that have the earned run average down in there. They're the ones getting their teams to this point. Very few teams get here on hitting alone. You can take your pitching with you in the postseason. You can take it with you on the road, and that's a big key right now.
Martensdale-St. Mary's 28-6. They're the Regional 4 champ. Knocked off Griswold at their home diamond to get here. Brindley German, Campbell German, the sisters, and by the way, there's a third German on the team. The Blue Devils were in the state final last year. What motivation more do you need than losing?
This is a team that everybody's had their eye on from the beginning of the year. Martensdale-St. Mary's. Campbell German, one of the premier pitchers in any class in the state, will be heading to South Dakota to continue pitching in her college career, and she's a special one.
Because they saw her play at the state tournament. Back in a moment after this.
Frank, when you think fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, Executive Director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We'd like to thank you for joining us for the Girls State Softball Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why we're proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing state tournament. This tournament not only showcases Iowa's elite teams, but the athletes competing here today are among our nation's best and brightest. And Iowa's farmers are among the nation's most productive. Our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the opportunity to recognize both, all while supporting and lifting up the Iowa girl.
With the help of the Iowa Farm Bureau, we celebrate students' efforts not only on the field, but in the classroom as well. The Iowa Farm Bureau is committed to your success and supports our organization and the Iowa Girl. Through millions of dollars they provide in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence.
As Iowans, we have a lot to be proud of. Whether you're a student competing here today or a fan tuning in.
Let's meet the starters from Edco.
Number 7, Dave Rubin. Number 11, Addie Schnauzer. And number 21, Ava Hofer. The assistant coach, Brooks Eggleseder. Now here's your starting lineup for the Vikings. Leading off, doing the pitching, number 25, Rachel Eggleseder. Batting second in left field, number 2, Caitlin Hahn. Batting third, doing the catching, number 17, Audrey Helmrich. Cleanup hitter for the Vikings. At shortstop, number 4, Claire Aldis. Batting fifth, the designated player, number 6, McKenna Hofer. Batting sixth, in right field, number 19, Maren Gall. Batting seventh at third base, number 5, Chloe Everett. Batting eighth at first base, number 10, Lauren Kirby. Batting in the ninth position, the center fielder, number 9, Campbell Kirby. Your flex player at second base, number 8, Emma Stater. Head coach for Edgewood-Colesburg, Taylor Huber. And now let's meet the team from Martensdale-St. Mary's. Here are your non-starters. Number 1, Carson Overender. Number 3, Emily Hughes. Number 14, Olivia Med-Gundy. Number 19, Shelby Gideon. And number 21, Abigail White. Your assistant coach, Kayla Esslinger. And Now here's your starting lineup for the Blue Devils of Martensdale-St. Mary's. Leading off, playing second base, number 7, Ellie Baker. And second in center field, number 6, Finley German. And third field pitching, number 4, Campbell German. Playing up here for the Blue Devils, third base, number 18, Abby Hughes. Playing fifth, doing the catching, number 11, Sydney Dare. Playing sixth in shortstop, number 9, Shelby Woods. Playing seventh in left field, number 2, Ani Berger. Playing eighth in right field, number 5, Marianne Hart. Batting in the ninth position, the designated player, number 8, Mac German. And your flex player at first base, number 13, Ava Oberender. Head coach for the Blue Devils, Emily Wood. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our umpires for this contest. At first base, Al Hermsen. At third base, Jeff Niehaus. Calling the Boston Strikes this afternoon, Casey Conover. All right, it's time to play state tournament softball.
You are watching the 2024 Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau as sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Iowa Farm Bureau believes in the Iowa girl and cultivating individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. By investing in Iowa's youth, we're investing in Iowa's future. 83 degrees is the temperature across the road here at the airport. Feels like 91 behind home plate according to my clock. This game is scheduled for 4:45, and we are going to get going. I thought maybe they would hold this a little bit, so if you are looking for 4:45 start, our apologies. Here we go. Tell your friends we're getting ready to go. Edgewood-Colesburg, Andy. Tri-Rivers Conference has had some good teams here. We mentioned North Lynn. What can Edco do to win today?
Well, they got to put the ball in play. It's going to start with that, and Campbell German is going to work hard to not allow that to happen. She's a strikeout pitcher and really hard to get timed up, but it's going to start with getting the ball in play and maybe get a chance to let the Blue Devils boot the ball around a little bit or get some base runners on and really change things up and put some pressure on the Blue Devils. And
for Martensdale-St. Mary's, it starts in the circle, it sounds like, for you.
Well, it definitely starts in the circle, but then offensively, they got to capitalize on the opportunities that they get on the base paths. Games like this, you're the decided favorite. You've got to finish up your opportunities. You've got to bat in those base runners that get into scoring position.
Coach Taylor Huber, second year as head coach for Edco, which is in northeast Iowa. Martensdale-St. Mary, south of Des Moines, but before the Missouri border. One of a couple of Warren County teams. One year I think we had 5. This year we have Norwalk, Martensdale-St. Mary's, and Southeast Warren.
I see Southeast Warren here in a little bit, correct?
Yes, yes you do.
Always seem to have really good softball teams coming from there.
Coach Reynolds always has a good group. All right, we'll get it started. Rachel Eggleseder. It'll be pitcher versus pitcher to start. Campbell German's first pitch is a strike. We're underway at 4:35 p.m.
You're going to see this fastball from German top out in the low 60s, and I think you're going to see a lot of those fastballs until Edco catches up to them.
That pitch misses. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. For Eggleseder, she's what Coach calls a great leadoff hitter. She's a sophomore. A lot of young, hungry players in this lineup for Edco. That pitch misses.
Really trying to work inside right now after that first pitch strike. Trying to avoid any solid contact there from Eggleseder. And not a power hitter, no home runs on the year, but batting over 430. Gets on base a lot.
Winds and fires from German, fouled straight back into the net. No flexing, but it did knock down the clock.
Got a flinch.
You did.
Early flinch for me.
Andy, you got a little break in between. You had a couple games this morning, a little downtime, and you got caught in some of that traffic trying to get here.
Fort Dodge traffic, little accident took place here south of the stadium, so rolling in, combine that with an early start.
Oh, wow, what a pitch. That just absolutely froze Eggleseder. Froze me, too, as I was watching that one. First strikeout of the game for German. And there's one away for Edco.
Well, and it was a drop change. It didn't get much of a drop, but it was enough. It came in at that higher plane of the strike zone and really just sat there. And one of those you almost had an opportunity to swing twice at, I think.
That pitch backs up inside for a ball to Caitlin Hahn. A couple of multi-sport athletes here for Edco, volleyball and track for Hahn, the sophomore. And as you get down to the 2A, 1A, and for sure 1A, you have lots of multi-sport athletes. It just doesn't work any other way.
Yeah, you got to share those athletes. You have to figure out a way, and in today's world of all the club sports that everybody's playing, that becomes harder and harder to do all the time, and that's just an added challenge of coaching in 2024, making it work.
The 1-1 misses, and I've had conversations with coaches over the years and specifically this year about, well, how does that work with when track runs into May when we're starting the softball season early? Well, it's communication, and we struggled early on.
Yes, you hear that, and it's all about, that's the beauty of the softball schedule, is that you got a few weeks to start playing your best ball before the seedings, everything comes out, and figure out what you're going to do in the postseason. Add to that, though, the club volleyball season that ends up going through July, and figuring out a way to work around that at several of these places.
The 2-2 from German misses. Count moves full with an out here in the top of the first.
That German went way outside there, trying to induce a swing. How far choked up
the
Hahn
pitch
is.
To Hahn, and she swings and misses. Strikeout number 2 is also out, number 2.
Shortening up those swings and trying to put the ball in play right now. There's about 4 inches of space between her hands and the bottom of the bat.
German told me after the regional final, she says, I just feel like I'm a different pitcher than last year.
She was pretty good a year ago.
And I'm like, you were really good last year. Yeah, but I had room for improvement and kind of worked a little bit, and confidence there with playing at the next level. South Dakota saw her play here at the state tournament. Conversation started, and before you know it, she's heading north, and the pitch to Audie Helmrichs is a called strike.
South Dakota's swept down and got a lot of talent here out of the state of Iowa. You see them pop up in a lot of places.
The secret's out. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Tournament's pretty good. Some good players.
Yeah, you see the college coach area. They've got spots reserved for them, and you see a ton of programs represented here every year.
I have to say, Andy, I think there's just a lot this year for these smaller schools than I remember. The 2-1. Hit towards second, bounces to Baker, who shovels it over to Oberrender to end the inning. The Vikings go 1-2-3 here in the first.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply at central.edu. So Edco goes down 1-2-3 in the top of the first, and we now head to the Martensdale-St. Mary's half. And for that, we go back to our play-by-play voice, Paul Yeager.
Thank you, Andy Pollock, Ellie Baker, Brindley German, Campbell German due up for Martensdale-St. Mary's. Infield in at the corners for Baker. Guess what she likes to do? Bunt, slap, put it in play.
and get on base over half the time doing it. You can tell throughout the course of the state tournament you go through, you can tell what teams have expected to be.
Popped up third base side in foul territory. Chloe Everett makes the play.
You can tell what teams were expecting to make a postseason run beforehand by the schedule that they've had throughout the course of the year. Martensdale-St. Mary's, you look at some of the teams they played. They ended this season with a doubleheader at Johnston. I know they had Centennial on the schedule throughout the course of the year. They were up here playing at the Fort Dodge tournament, played Williamsburg, who's in the tournament. This was a team that was expecting to be here.
The first pitch to Brindley German bounces in for a ball. I just asked the Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont coach about that. I said, looking at your schedule, coach, you must have thought you were going to be a decent team. He says, yeah, we did. And that's exactly what happens. The 1-0 is out of the zone for ball 2. And I was really looking forward to that Martensdale-St. Mary's. I was all ready to work that game for you. And darn rain. We had just a lot of rain at certain times. Yeah, 2 different. Chopper hit to short. Across is Alvis to Kirby, out number 2.
Edco making the plays in the field, and looking at it early on, there's going to be some pitches going to contact here, and so far, defense making the plays behind Eagle-Cedar.
All these coaches will tell you, and that's what they tell their team, just one inning can make all the difference. It's just a matter of when it happens.
And we have seen that a bunch. Those crooked number innings, you scratch out 1 or 2 in some other innings, and then all of a sudden there's a close game and a team scores 4. And just like that, it's out of reach. Or you're ahead by 4, and another team comes back and scores and ties it up.
The 1-0 to Campbell misses as well. 2-0. One error can allow a run to score and the inning to continue. One pitch can be a player's first grand slam of her career. The off-speed pitch is roped to short, but grabbed out of the afternoon air by Claire Alvis. L6. What a line shot to end the inning. Both teams go in order. We go to the second from Fort Dodge.
Frank, when you think fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Inning number 2 on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Edgewood-Colesburg, that's the Edco, and MSTM is not the latest band, the latest K-pop band. It's Martensdale-St. Mary's. K-pop, right?
I've been working with you for a lot of years, and sometimes what you come up with kind of just leaves me speechless.
Got to keep you on your toes, Mr. Pollock. No score in the second. Alvis, Hofer, Gall. First pitch from German is high, and that big old smile. Kind of like, yep, that's what I was trying to do.
Pitchers on display here in the whole first inning. Game starts early and you get 6 up, 6 down. Makes for a quick afternoon. Good crowd on hand. I love looking out and seeing all the fans out in the bleachers. And even tomorrow as we get into the semifinals, you're going to see a lot more people here for those games.
I had a chance, was kind of watching some of the, here's the pitch from German, swung on a miss. Audubon West Monona game before this one, and Audubon has bright red as their color, which is the official color of Class 4A this year.
Of course, yeah.
And Audubon, there was red everywhere. They took all the center field bleachers. They had their bleacher filled to the side. All their patio seating. Ground ball to short. Quickly over is not going to be in time. Woods was going to have to charge that one just a little bit more, but it was enough of a slow roller, and Elvis in for the game's first hit and the game's first runner.
Well, and if we get a chance to look at the replay there from Elvis, that pitch was a drop ball breaking away, and Elvis got around on it. You see it here. It was dropping late, and she reached down and got just enough on it, the dead roller, and shows off the speed getting down to first. It was a great pitch, but even better contact.
Popped up and made behind the plate. Sydney Bears. What a play.
She was popping out of her catcher's position.
And that is the first out of the inning. F2, what a play. Put a star on that one. So Hofer's out and Marin Gall up for the Vikings.
See Gall choked up quite a bit as well. There's, right now, take advantage of these base runners, and that's one of those mistakes there. The rise ball comes in and you pop it up rather than letting it go. Got to get those bunts on the ground right now. You're not going to have a lot of opportunities with base runners today.
Swing and a miss. German comes right back in on a very good up and in fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gall is all-conference volleyball, also plays basketball, and was at state track. All-conference in the Tri-Rivers. The 1-1. Nice pitch. Just misses from German.
Just watching German through these first couple innings, you look at the spots she's getting from Bears, and she's dead on. Like, she is pitching that ball exactly where she's calling for it.
German spins it on the hip, puts it in the glove, winds and fires. In on the hands, swing and a miss.
Just incredible control. Just saw the on-deck batter over there, McKenna Hofer, looking over at assistant coach Brooks Eggleseder and said, hey, shorten it up. Again, they're just looking to get the ball on the ground and make some contact.
Swing and a miss on the rise ball. And there's 2 away. Gall gone on strikes.
3rd strikeout of the afternoon so far for Campbell German, and seen a wide variety of pitches coming from her. And you don't need to be perfect, but when you throw as hard as she does, you can just be pretty good at your location, and she nailed that one.
So Chloe Everett, sophomore third base, brings her energy to the plate. And the first pitch from German misses. I love seeing the player that has energy when the coach uses to describe them. I think you need to have.
It's a lot of times it's a catcher in softball. You've seen that for a lot of different teams, that catcher popping around.
But here's the thing. Everett's their backup pitcher. Normally the pitcher is not the one with the energy. Yes, exactly. Composed. I know you could see Andy's reaction there on the camera. he did it exactly.
There's so many technical things that go along with the pitching that you just have to, it's more technical than it is anything else.
The 1-1 swing and miss. As Everett looks down at Coach Huber. Alvis reached on an infield hit. She stands at first. German a pitch from getting out of it. Swing and miss, and does just that. Strikeout number 4 on the game, and out number 3 for the inning. No score from Fort Dodge.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Slade's the place for you!
Abby Hughes hits the first pitch she sees into right field for out number 1. Hughes, Sydney Bears, and Shelby Woods due up for Martensdale.
Gall didn't even have to move out there in right field, read it right off the bat. Sitting there waiting. She's playing pretty deep as well. Scouting report had her hitting the ball out there, and Gall just waiting on it.
Scouting report? You paying for scouting reports again?
Well, they get a chance. You find 1 or 2 games, and you have a pretty good idea ahead of time with the seedings. You'll go to some of those games and just watch it, and you're making your connections. You don't ever want to make another coach mad in the state of Iowa, because in softball, that's who you depend on to get some of those tapes. So find out, maybe a live stream here or there.
The pitch to Bears, the catcher, is a strike, and it's a ball and a strike. And that's, relationships are formed when teams play each other. They might meet somebody that they hadn't, and Eddyville, Blakesburg, and Northeast are not going to play usually during the regular season.
No.
Now the coaches might get to know each other and say, hey, what do you know about?
And maybe it's not a film. It's just somewhere, hey, you call them up and say, hey, we went through the lineup. Hey, this girl does this. This is how we attacked her. She went 0 for 3. This is how we attacked her. She went 3 for 4, so don't do that. A lot of it's just it's almost more important of what not to do as opposed to what to do with each hitter.
The 1-2 changeup misses. And sometimes you can think, oh, no, well, we can do it better. There's a little – I'm not saying coaches all do that.
No, but you compare your talent level, and sometimes, obviously if you have a pitcher the caliber of Eggleseder or a caliber of German, you're going to maybe approach things a little bit differently than someone else.
Eggleseder, again, for being a senior or just a dominant player here as a sophomore, she's we see the 8th grade, 9th grade on occasion, but it's usually that sophomore, junior, and then senior when you get to that last year as it's strike 3, Bear swings through it for out number 2. And the first strikeout of the game for the sophomore.
Now later tonight, we'll see a player that we've watched a lot here at the state. You talk about pitchers when they're younger pitching, and you've got with Sigourney, the number 2 team in this district. They've got some young players that we've seen for a long time playing. I just saw, you talked about the scouting report, just saw the coach come out and wave out there to Gall and bring her in now in right field. So there's some scouting going on. There's some trends that they've looked at with these players.
Batting now is Shelby Woods, the freshman shortstop. Some changes had to be made after an injury for Martensdale. Woods was not the regular shortstop. That was the other German,
who's out there
who's out in center.
Well, I saw there was another player that had a
Emily Hughes
in a sling. Didn't catch the number.
Hughes, Emily, 61 at-bats this season, was batting .262, but just kind of forced enough of the changes, and tough as the year goes on to make those changes so last minute when you don't get many games at game speed to get that position figured out. But when you're good enough athletes, Martensdale-St. Mary's been at the state basketball tournament the last couple of years. Woods now in the hole, 0-2 with 2 outs here in the Blue Devil second inning. Eggleseder, nice pitch, but it's punched hard to right. It's going to get down. It's going to 2-hop the fence. Woods is chugging along for second. She's in there with a stand-up double. That's an extra base hit.
Yeah, a little opposite field hitting. Pitch took her a little bit outside, put it right in the power alley.
A Channel Seeds extra base hit. So Woods at second, and that'll bring Ani Berger. Andy, how many times have we seen it? 1, 2, 3 gets all the focus. 4 gets the focus, but it's 6, 7, 8.
Everybody's got a good 1 through 3, 1 through 4 players in their lineup, but the teams that win the titles have the ones that they can hit it and put it in play all the way through.
Woods at second, Ani Berger at the plate. Coach calls her a good hitter. She's going to need her to be good right here. Just find some open space in that grass, and you might be able to steal a run here on a little 2-out rally. Eggleseder's. Ooh, good pitch. Just a little high. Yeah, you know, you're talking about Carly Goodwin for Sigourney. We've watched her pitch for years here. Collins Maxwell.
Yeah.
Another Hogue. The 2-1. But we don't have a Flanagan from North Lynn,
year.
Finally.
Not this year.
I did see Ellie.
Thanks to Edco.
Yeah, yeah. I did see Ellie walking around here today.
I've seen those Flanagans every sport.
The 3-1 is popped up on the infield, coming in, but it falls in front of Alvis, and everybody's safe.
Situation there over at short. Alvis needs to play through that. She's got to go through. She waited, let the runner clear first before she went. If there's contact made, they can get an interference call. No contact made, so it's play on.
And they rule that a hit.
Yeah, definitely a hit.
First pitch to Marianne Hart is fouled into the net. Chased down by Kirby. Thrown back to Eggleseder. And we'll do it all again. Hart, the junior. Swings through that one. She's now down 0-2. This will be a big spot for another freshman in the lineup to have a big hit. Eggleseder's pitch is popped up foul.
In off the hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those opportunities early on when I talked about in the pregame about capitalizing when you've got runners in scoring position. Now you're sitting here with your number 8 batter. This would be stealing a couple runs here for Martensdale-St. Mary's.
The pitch is popped up again into the net behind us.
Good quality at bat right now coming from Hart.
If it does go through the net and we catch it, I know you will be gone because you'll be turning in that foul ball for a free car, right?
That's what they told us. Tim Fitzpatrick
at the
announced to everybody,
stand.
you turn in a foul ball for a free car. I'm not sure who's providing that car.
The 0-2 is high.
It's certainly not Taylor Anderson at the girls' union.
Maybe it's Ben. Maybe Ben Van Wyck. Aaron, the new boss. You never know.
Maybe the rules are new. Maybe the rules are different now.
Hart at 1-2 again fouls it off to stay alive. And again, Andy, on the hands.
Yeah, Hart continue just to waiting, looking for her pitch right now, trying to find one out over the plate. Can be tough for her to lay off anything close right now. Not so certain you don't see this pitch high and away.
1-2, high. And they're just going to let Berger go to second. Thought maybe they'd draw a throw, but of course, Edco just goes back to the pitcher. Sometimes we see a quick throw to third, maybe if there's less than 2 outs.
Looking for something sprayed to right field right now. Situational hitting.
It doesn't need to be to the fence. It just needs to be in play. The 2-2 is hit towards the right side, but foul.
Continuing to jam her high and tight. And Eggleseder knows right now as well the location of these pitches. They want to get this thing to right field. She's going to continue to work in on the hands.
Eggleseder's only given up 44 runs all season, 33 of them earned, and it's popped back into the screen again.
That one she left a little bit more over the plate, and fortunate for her, Hart just able to foul it off.
I think Helmerich took a big breath on that one, knowing that they missed.
Hart's seen a lot of pitches right now.
And that is hit right at second base, and the out is made. Martensdale leaves 2. As we go to the third, no score.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Campbell German and Martensdale-St. Mary's goes back to work here in the third. Campbell in the circle today. So far, 4 strikeouts. And she's 1 over the minimum. She's faced 7 batters for Edco. Lauren Kirby is number 8. The first baseman, sophomore. First pitch from German. In there for a called strike.
Edco doing a good job. Patient hitters right now, seeing more and more pitches each at bat, and that's what's going to be the key. If you can steal a couple base runners early on and then turn over your order where you can see those pitches more and more throughout the course of the night.
The 0-1 spins in, and that just kind of kept spinning.
That's a really good pitch. From Campbell German. It starts on the outside part of the plate. Questionable whether it's going to be a strike or not, and then works its way in very late. Good screwball there from German.
German grabs the rosin, drops it back. The 0-2 coming to Kirby. Swing and a miss, foul tip, caught by the catcher Bears, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, I got underneath it. The rise ball coming in. Again, right back to the glove of Bears, exactly where she was calling for it.
Ankeny softball coach to the concession stand. Thank you.
Not sure the Ankeny softball coach, they shouldn't even be here today.
Unless they, I know they came up early. It usually means there's a bus in the wrong spot.
Ankeny will play tomorrow in the 5A semifinal. And I think they drew Valley. Campbell Kirby. Swings, hits it softly to third. Hughes up, over, out.
That's another good piece of hitting right there from Campbell Kirby as she reached for that ball breaking late. Got around on it.
And here's the replay of that. Just enough speed. But boy, that's a half step. Fouled back, right in front of us, but on the Channel Field logo.
I've yet to not flinch on one of those coming back this week. Maybe by tomorrow, by the end of the day, I'll have enough faith in this fishnet that's in front of us.
Rachel Eggleseder swings and fouls it away off the first base side. She's now down 0-2.
It's so thin, which is great for viewing, but man, that makes me nervous. There's just not much to it.
So you will be here tomorrow?
I'll be here tomorrow, yep, through the early part of the afternoon before I transition seasons
to team
in one
camp.
day.
Yeah.
Hopefully back maybe Thursday night to watch that 5A state championship game. Watch the hometown Hawks play in that one maybe. We'll see how that works out.
They got
Valley is so good. The way Valley hits the ball is incredible. That's got to be one of the better hitting teams that Tom Bakey's had.
German winds and fires. Misses. You can watch the finals if you don't come up to Fort Dodge on Iowa PBS. Beginning Thursday night, Brad Wells, Allie Kappert to have your call. 5A and 4A, the A team.
Talked to both of those a lot throughout the course of the year.
Screwball hit towards Hughes again, across the diamond, gets the out. Caught by Oberender, and the Vikings go 1-2-3 in their half of the third from Harlan Rogers.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Fans' official state merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. That black long sleeve shirt is classy. Need to get my hands on one of those. Paul Yeager.
Thank you, Andy Pollock. Mac German. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Second one is up out of the zone. A ball and a strike now is the count here in the Martensdale-St. Mary's third inning. Mac German, Ellie Baker, and Brindley German due up. If anybody gets on, Campbell German. And if anybody gets on after that, they're going to find another German to send out there. And
send in the Germans.
I love small town softball. The 2-1. Mac fouls it. That time actually hit the up above the bleacher up above us. We were talking. I said something about Newell Fonda. So we were talking about Brad Wells in the break, and for years they used to give me a hard time on how I had almost drawn out the family tree of all the Seavers and Jungers and Larsons, pop fly, fouling out of play. It'll stay 2-2 that they had at Newell Fonda. And then Brad would look at it and just go, "That's cute, but they're cousins, not they're second cousins. They're." Sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
But now in softball, it's the Flaws, the Carlisle and the Van Meters. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for German.
They each have multiple flosses. They each have multiple flaws on their staffs as well.
Flaws I think. No.
That's what you get when you put a couple communications guys, not English majors, behind the microphone.
Ellie Baker comes in from the left side for Martensdale-St. Mary's in their blue uniforms. White numbers trimmed in gold with the white pinstripes. Pants and the yellow belt.
Edco,
Blue Devils on the front of the jersey.
Say Edco here sporting the aqua-colored shirts up in their fan section. Definitely stand out at this tournament.
Edco in the black pants, gray tops with pinstriping, and Vikings in yellow on the front. The 1-1 coming to Baker is a called strike. Earlier today, we had 2 teams wearing all black against each other. Davenport Assumption and Esterville Lincoln Central.
Big pet peeve of mine, by the way. As a guy that sets up graphics for a lot of live streams. Every other sport's got to define, either the home team wears this color, the visiting team wears this color, but not in softball and baseball. So you wait, and a lot of times that warm-up shirt will be a different color yet, so you wait to find out what color is being worn. Last night you mentioned red is the official color of Class 4A, so I'm calling Carlisle and DCG, both teams' primary color red, but waiting next to play was Western Dubuque and North Polk, and their teams are both red, so it was just a wave of red around this Channel Seeds field.
The 3-2 is hit up the middle, but hold on. She's out. How do you score that?
Not sure how they score that, actually. Just out other on Game Changer.
I guess. She's out of the box, so I may have to ask someday. I guess we don't have that, so it's just out number 2.
Baker, a little bit of an off-speed pitch, so she had to take that extra little shuffle step to wait for it.
And there's 2 away as Brindley German pops it up to short. Drifting over is Alvis, and that is out number 3. We have ourselves a good one. No score through 3.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
Caitlin Hahn, Audie Helmrich, and Claire Alvis due up for the Edco Vikings and their 29-10 record. That's places 2, 3, and 4 in the batter's box. They'll go to work against Campbell German, who we didn't get a chance to say on the season is a 16-5 pitcher with an ERA of 1.33 through 121 innings pitched. She's allowed 42 runs, only 23 earned. Has struck out 202 batters, and so far today she struck out 5 Vikings. Andy Pollock and Paul Yeager with you here. Just a couple of guys talking.
It's an important part of the order right now for Edco to get through. You want to try to scratch out a couple base runners here.
Bunt is put back into German, who grabs it, throws it over to Oberander for out number 1. And really, Andy, don't you want to think, if you're Edco, you need to get maybe somebody or 2 on base for the last time through the order, that you're not batting with 7, 8, 9 or 9, 1,
yeah,
2.
That's what I mean, to get a couple through, so you're getting back on schedule, really, so you're not worried about getting back to the top of the order again with 2 outs.
First pitch to Helmrich is swung on and missed.
And German just doesn't walk many. In 40 games this year, she's walked 43. That's like one a game. My math even tells me that. So.
And it's 0-2 now to Helmrich, who grounded out to second. Way back in the first inning.
I was even wrong on that. It was
28.
28, yeah.
Yeah, and I have it written down as 31, and it's 28. Yeah. Swing and a miss. Going upstairs is German. Out number 2 is strikeout number 6.
Saw this last year from German here in the early rounds at state. Just kind of toys with everybody, it feels like.
Alvis is known for hitting the ball hard, and there it just misses her. Hits the back screen, ball 1. Multiple sport athlete, cross-country, basketball, ran at state track. She's going to play basketball at Loris and be a Duhawk. No, Andy, you can't ask me what a Duhawk is. That's not allowed here today. The 1-0 coming from German. Nice off speed. Change up there. And it's one ball and 1 strike.
Duhawk, Cohawk, Wallhawk.
Go ahead, say it.
We'll get
Jayhawk.
Jayhawk. We're not talking Buchanan County right now.
The 1-1. Reaching out, grabbing it. German goes off her gloves, quickly throwing over to from second is Woods, not in time, and Alvis is on. I'm presuming that's a hit.
That'll be a hit for Alvis. Yeah, her second of the day. She's got both hits for Edco, and there's your step in getting things moving. Again, it's with 2 outs right now, and this isn't necessarily about pushing this run across, although you will if you can, but again, thinking long-term right now and when you can get back to the top of the order on schedule. The way she said you wouldn't mind having her lead off an inning.
McKenna Hofer looks at a first pitch strike. So that's the second hit allowed by German today. She no-hit Griswold in the regional final. She didn't even know she was throwing a no-hitter till the other reporter before me told her.
Alvis has 10 stolen bases on the year. Wouldn't be surprised on an 0-2 right now to see her take off. As you're expecting probably not a great pitch coming in, something to induce a swing. Here from Hofer.
German grabs a little dirt, wipes the ball on her pant leg, winds and fires, goes high, Bears drops it, the throw to second is in time, but not the tag. The throw arrived at nearly the same time as Alvis. And Hofer will bat now with a runner in scoring position.
Now this becomes pretty important. As you get, again, not going to get a ton of base runners. Can somehow find a way to spray this out into right center. Look at the depth that Baker's using over there at second base right now. Big infield for her.
The 1-2, swing and a miss! And just like that, the inning is over. Man, I thought maybe Edco had something going, but Hofer strikes out to end the inning.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Thanks again to the Iowa Farm Bureau for presenting the 2024 Girls State Softball Tournament, a sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Farm Bureau recognizes athletic and academic achievement on the diamond and in the classroom, helping to nurture Iowa's future leaders. So with German up to the plate, Paul Yeager takes over once again.
Here in the fourth goes Martensdale-St. Mary's. Here's who's up. It's Campbell German, the pitcher. As you say, help yourself.
Eggleseder working on a gem right now.
Eggleseder, Coach Huber calls her great in the circle, and I can endorse that statement. The 1-1. German lifts it in the air towards second, drifting over and making the grab is Stanner for out number 1.
And she's only got 2 strikeouts, but she's, again, coming back to what I've talked about with several of these games, pitchers anymore, you don't see a lot of high strikeout pitchers. It's all about pitching to contact and minimizing the damage. And great pitches coming from Eggleseder, getting a lot of these weak ground balls and easy pop flies.
The batter is Abby Hughes, the junior, playing third base today, first pitch ball. All right, Andy, at what point, if you're the 1 seed, are you feeling pressure when you are tied with the 8 seed in a seemingly even game?
Well,
Hughes pops it up, foul, out of play.
You know, throughout the course of the year, it's been a lot of low-scoring games. You don't see the dominating tons of points go up on the board for Martensdale-St. Mary's like we do others. They win these low-scoring games, and I think that's where you're going to see, you know, they felt the pressure before. I don't think they're not used to giving up runs, and I mean, my math tells me if you don't give up a run, you're going to win a lot of ball games.
But again, the 1-8 seed game, 1 would be Martensdale-St. Mary's, and Edgewood-Colesburg would be the 8.
There's really not much of a difference in record. Obviously, a good record for Martensdale-St. Mary's, but not a huge. We've seen 8 seeds come in with losing records to this tournament. And Edco
had one this morning.
Yeah, Edco's certainly not in that vein.
1 out walk to Abby Hughes. And that'll send Hughes down to first and bring in Sydney Bears. I think we're going to have a courtesy runner, and we are. It's going to be Carson Oberender.
Number 1, Carson Oberender running for first pitch runner.
Oberender, not a huge threat to steal. I'm not sure if they'll be looking at trying to sacrifice one over now or not. You sure feel like if you were able to score a run, you'd feel really good about things right now from a Martensdale perspective.
This is another IMT insurance substitution. Be worry-free with IMTINS.com. First pitch fouled back into the screen to Sydney Bears. Oberender at first with 1 out. Let's see what Coach Wood decides off the play card in her right hand down on the third baseline. If she lets Bears swing away, that pitch is high.
Well, similar to what Edco, wanting to get that top of the order back up right now, this would be a key to scratch out a couple, advance a couple base runners. If you can score right now, great. But again, playing the long game right now and turning over that order, getting back to the top.
Popped up. Not quite over the net to the right side, but
it's incredible the weak contact that Eggleseder continues to pitch into. And I'm not, it's as you watch her pitches, she doesn't have the movement that we've seen from others, but just pinpoint accuracy. Wherever she wants to put it, that's where she's getting it. Good job calling the pitches behind the plate as well.
The 1-2. Popped up, foul again. I think Eggleseder's ceiling's pretty high, right?
Absolutely. When you see, maybe not some of the, she's got good velocity, maybe not some of the overpowering velocity we've seen from some other pitchers in this class that we've talked about for years after they've got done playing. But, with the movement and the location she's got right now, that velocity, that's something you can continue to develop.
The pitch in on the hands, and again, fouled into the on-deck circle on the first base side.
Just continues to get those.
Casey Conover chased that ball down from home plate as the umpire puts the mask backs on. And we're ready to go. Again, fouled back into the screen.
Martensdale-St. Mary's just cannot barrel up the pitches coming in from Eggleseder. We're in the 4th inning right now, the second time through the order, and just no solid contacts coming at all from the Blue Devils.
Shelby Woods is the only one that can say, I hit the ball really hard, and that was to right center. And then Berger had a base hit, but that is it. Foul, and that's actually one of the first good solid foul balls, to stick with your point.
So a lot of weak contacts. And again, Eggleseder just outstanding job so far today in the circle.
Bears close to about the 10th pitch of this at-bat. And she'll get another one. Quick throw down to first. Gets off the glove of first and they're running down to second. There goes Oberender. And she's in at second. So now, on the quick throw to first, it just went out of the glove of Kirby into right field. And Gall got it in, but before it made it to second, Oberender was already there. So now, 1 out. And a runner in scoring position.
And on a 2-2 count, you've taken out the sacrifice part that you'd love to be able to still put in there.
And it's punched to right, and it's going to get through. Oberender is being waved around to score, and she will touch the plate for the game's first run. Sydney Bears delivers for Martensdale-St. Mary's.
It started on the throwback down to first. You got the runner in scoring position, and just a nice piece of hitting ripped it right back up the middle. And running with it being a pitch on the ground, running from contact, was Oberender able to score. Will that be enough for Martensdale-St. Mary's?
First pitch to Annie Berger, or to Shelby Woods, is a ball.
And Woods had that double earlier in the game. Like we said, one of the most solid contacts yet off of Eggleseder.
Popped in the air right at second, calling off, holding off. Elvis was Stanner, but boy, that just got turned into a explosive play.
One of those where the shortstop does have priority, but that ball was coming right to Stanner. She wanted that ball, and coming off right at the very last second was Elvis.
So Bears will stay at first. Berger is the batter now, who had a base hit back in the second. 1-0 Martensdale. Popped in the air, right side again for Stanner. She's under, gloves it, gets it, out. But not before Martensdale-St. Mary's scores a run. They lead 1-0 after 4.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply at central.edu. 0-2-1 for the guest team. That is Edgewood-Colesburg. 1-3-0 for Martensdale. An error on the board at first allowed a run to move into scoring position, and a hit right after pushed the game's first run across. 1-0 as we move on to the fifth. Marin Gall, Chloe Everett, and Lauren Kirby due up for Coach Huber's Edco Vikings.
So part of the lineup has to put a couple balls in play.
Edgewood-Colesburg, they have been together as long as I can remember. Tri-Rivers Conference, Northeast Iowa, getting close to the Mississippi River. North and east of Waterloo, south and west of Decorah. If that helps your geography a little bit.
You don't have to test out my Northeast Iowa geography. I used to.
That's right. You got family not too terribly far from there.
Far
you would
away
have
at
gone.
all.
You've gone through Edgewood.
We get our bacon from the Edgewood locker. That's some of the best bacon you'll find.
And here I thought we'd make a whole game without a reference to
we're
the
not.
locker.
We're not going to talk. We can't go a game with Edco.
Well hit to right. On the run, though, is Brindley German. Her new position looks like she's an old hat at it. Gall is gone on a fly ball to center.
That's one of the hardest hit balls we've seen off Campbell German, and Brindley covering things nicely out there in center field. Right off the bat, you saw her sprinting right at the ball, makes a play out there in right center.
Chloe Everett, volleyball and golf athlete as well as softball. And Everett, nice pitch there as she looks at a first pitch. Second, when you're the backup pitcher to Rachel Eggleseder, you're like, just give me a chance. But here's what the conference thought of Everett. They voted her second team all-conference as the backup to Eggleseder.
Well, they finished 17-5. They didn't even win their conference. They finished third in their conference. So it tells you. And just, you get good at the end of the year. They ended up winning they've won their last 9 games coming into this now.
Everett, the 0-2 coming as she digs in from the right side. German looks, winds and fires upstairs. You know, here's the thing with Everett. She reminds us of a friend of ours who may have been a backup in high school, who ended up playing at a small Division III college and then ended up in the NFL. I'm not comparing Chloe Everett to Fred Jackson, but sometimes when you're behind a really good player. That ball is hit towards first, going over is Oberander, puts both hands up to corral it and make the out.
Oberander played that just perfect, and that's a play right now. You're starting to have that sun come into effect out there in that left field sky, so she played that pretty well.
Shadows are moving as if you look from home to the pitcher, they're going from left to right.
Yeah, it's the throws from third that are the ones that are going to be the hardest ones to pick up right now. That sunshine was up here a couple weeks ago for a Fort Dodge game, and there was a play where the first baseman lost it in the sun on a throw from third, and Coach Adams was out right away. He's like, you play here, you know you need sunglasses at first base.
The 1-0 from German. Swing and a miss to Lauren Kirby, the sophomore. Kirby also a volleyball player and golfer. Coach calls her consistent with a positive attitude.
Choked way up right now, just trying to put a ball in play.
And it is put in play, but foul down the third baseline as Hughes bends over to pick it up and back to German. And now Kirby down to her last strike in this at-bat. 1-0 here in the fifth. Kirby struck out back in the third. Trying to avoid that same outcome. The pitch. She cannot. She repeats it. Strike three. Martensdale-St. Mary's comes up to bat with a 1-run lead.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
I took Tim Fitzpatrick's recommendation and stretched as we move to the bottom half of the fifth. Martensdale 8-9-1. That's Hart, German, and Baker. As we move past 5:30 here on Tuesday afternoon, July the 23rd, 2024. First pitch has popped up and towards the press box, but the problem is there's a net in the way, so it bounces back into play. Kirby will lead off for Edco in their inning, but Hart is the batter now for Martensdale.
It's the 8-9-1 part of the order. If they can figure out a way to steal a base runner here and get back to the top, you might see Martensdale-St. Mary's putting together a little bit of some separation in this game.
First pitch, or the pitch from Eggleseder is high. Coach Huber for Edco, she says we've just got to get great production from all parts of her lineup. She's going to need it here in that inning, but they're going to have to play some good defense. Play confidently.
Where Hart has positioned herself so far forward in that batter's box right now. Trying to take a peek at her front foot. No, there's not much of a load there.
Called third strike on Hart. First out of the fifth. Coach Huber also says we need to play clean defensively. She says Rachel can be a lot more aggressive pitching-wise when we limit traffic on the bases, and that starts with limiting walks and errors.
That's what they've done.
And that is exactly what they have done.
near perfect game right now from Edco. That one mistake, that's all it's been right now, has led to that run. They've certainly showed that they belong here playing with the number 1 seed, Martensdale-St. Mary's.
That pitch is high. 2-0. Here's the thing with 1A. This is basketball, softball. It is hard. There might be records that look impressive, but it is, again, about who you play. That pitch is fouled into the net, 2-1. But it's about competition. It's about how you're playing, where you're playing. You could be in a certain part of the state where everybody looks good, but nobody's traveling out, so you don't really know. But as you mentioned, I think pretty early on, Andy, Martensdale has done a lot of traveling to play. Ground ball put over to third, back to first. Everett to Kirby for out number 2. Mac German out on the ground ball.
They did that exactly right. Everett cutting that off. If they wait and that gets through to Elvis, that's going to be an infield hit. Everett cut it off, and I see the 8-year-olds working on that play. It's just fundamental softball.
And Edco, they played Western Dubuque, who is knocking on the door for state. North Lynn, which they had to play them in the regular season. Lisbon, who played here at state.
Well, and Central City has been good in the past.
The 0-1 to Ellie Baker. Infield in. They gets past first base. The right fielder was playing a deep second, but by that time there wasn't anybody at first. And Baker's aboard with a good slap hit.
Well, and that's that. Against the slappers, that's the newish style of defense we've seen take over the last couple of years, where you can keep your first baseman in more at their normal spot and use the second baseman to cover. But when you can pull that ball so quick at the 4-hole, makes things really tough on a defense.
Brindley German to bat. Shows bunt, gets past the catcher, and rounding third because there's nobody there. It's a foot race. The throw, a token throw at that. Baker slides in, and now Martensdale-St. Mary is 60 feet away from an insurance run.
Well, it started. Everett, I think, lost her footing as she was charging in for the bunt. It was a called strike, so she stuck with it. German did. Forced the defense to play it all the way through, and then Elvis was covering second, and like you said, became a foot race to third. No one could get there in time. The base runner, as she rounded it, was the Baker was the closest one to third the entire way.
That pitch is low. And Eggleseder's having to pitch through another situation that she's not in control of.
She can get out of this inning with a nice little fly ball.
The 1-1. Ooh, wow. Tell you what, German was doing what a good hitter should do. Yes, yes, no. She was going through that progression on the at-bat and held up at the last moment.
She's trying to get that fly ball right now. You saw the rise ball come through, keeping it up in the zone.
The pitch is grounded towards short, past Albus into left field, and another run scores. Hugh Baker puts the second run on the board. Brindley German, the base hit.
Well, it looked like a rise ball coming in that did not go up. It stayed down in the zone and allowed German to get a good solid chunk of it, ripped it over towards short. 5th hit of the night there for Martensdale-St. Mary's.
And you didn't have to use an out to get a run home.
No, haven't had to sacrifice anything.
Brindley, the great basketball player. I won't say that was a 3-ball that she shot, but it was a really nice assist. No, it doesn't translate. No, not at all. Worth a shot.
Chirp, chirp.
Chirp,
Chirp, chirp.
chirp. The 0-1. Running is German and thrown at Stanner, who wasn't close to the bag. Good thing she was late in covering.
Yeah, that ball would have rolled out to center field. Really fast jump there for German coming from first.
So German now at second. Excellent speed. German wants to study nursing. What kind of heartbeat does this one have? A 2-0 is lifted high in the air towards first, right at the bag, and a half a foot into foul territory is Lauren Kirby. gets the out, but not before Martensdale-St. Mary's pushes another run across. We've played 5-2-0 Blue Devils.
Slate's the place for you!
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Edgewood-Colesburg down to their final 6 outs as we move to the 6th. They trail 2-0, 0-1 for Edco, 2-5-0 for number 1 seeded Martensdale-St. Mary's, as now Campbell German goes to work with a couple of runs. It is a great afternoon for softball.
It's been a great tournament. These 2 days have been outstanding.
Normally I do think you have gotten a little sun. Even though we are in the shade, Andy, the reflection of the dirt gives us a nice, even tan.
It's that nice red dirt kind of brings in that tan color on our faces, right?
Campbell Kirby, Rachel Eggleseder, Caitlin Hahn due up for Edco.
Well, and this is important right now for Edco. This is the last time the top part of the order on schedule now. We'll see German, and got to get some production here now.
Good pitch from German, misses. Kirby, as I think I've been listening to some of you other folks do the games and hear them talk about some teams view the 9-hitter as a, I'm 9. Others view it as another leadoff, and that's what Edco does. Good pitch in to Kirby. As Coach Huber says, Campbell's really embraced that 9-hole spot.
A lot of coaches will call that the 1-1, turning it over.
Swing and a miss by Kirby.
Ball had some pop to it coming in from German there. I'd like to get a radar gun on her for back here. Every year I say that. I know so many people that have them. I need to get one of those back here and start to pick some of those out.
You'd think with your 300 softball games you'd have one by now.
No, I don't. I'm usually the guy watching from the outfield.
Kirby is out on strikes. Strikeout number 9 for Campbell German, and it's the top of the order. The sophomore Eggleseder will bat. She struck out in the first, grounded out in the third, bats here in the 6th, down 2-0. Got to score runs, you got to get them on base. Let's see what Eggleseder can do with 1 out. The pitch from German. Swung on, fouled back straight into the channel field sign below us.
Yeah, we haven't seen many pitches of like a slider type action coming from German. That was one of the first times I remember seeing that. She went more middle to outside part of the plate as opposed to tailing in or a rise ball. Digging into her bag of tricks.
The pitch upstairs. Eggleseder, basketball, also in track. She's a thrower. Imagine that. The pitch hit in the air towards left. Also drifting over is German in center. And Brindley calls off Berger to make the catch.
Good communication out there. As it looked like he was going to Berger, and at the last second just kind of halted her advance. Goes down as F8, but in my mind that was F7.
Well, that's where it was headed. I watched the fielder. You know, that where you sit in a game, I sit a lot of games behind home. You sit in the outfield. I look at the fielder to figure out how well a ball is hit.
Yep. No, I'm right with you. And having the older half of my daughters have played in the outfield, so we like to get out there, get much better pictures of them when they're out there. And, of course, then you get to talk to your kids, too.
You do?
Yeah, or let them talk to you.
Or they actually talk
maybe,
to you?
Oh, yeah. Some more than others.
The 2-0 coming to Caitlin Hahn.
Younger two have made a name for themselves in the infield, though, so far. So try to avoid being the dad yelling out instructions to them on everything they should be able to do in there. Sometimes at 9 and 12, their minds can do things that their bodies actually can't yet.
Caitlin Hahn bats with a 3-0 count. And that's a strike, goes off the glove of Bears, squirts away towards the on-deck circle where Audie Helmrichs waits.
I think crossed up on the signals there because Bears was expecting that to tail in, and it ended up being a fastball just off the outside corner.
Hahn with great speed. Let's see if she can just put it in play and let her feet do the rest. The pitch from German. High, ball 4.
First walk.
I was going to say, I was just going to count. I think that's the first walk of the day. It is. And there was 1 walk for Eggleseder, so there's only been 2 walks this entire game. That, to me, Andy, says good pitching.
Oh,
right?
And we knew that coming in, that we were going to have really good pitching. Between the two of these pitchers, an average, they're right at their average right now of 1 walk per game. So I guess if you're a batter now, you're swinging at everything. If the average is hold, expecting strikes.
Audrey Helmrichs, the 4-sports standout, the Volleyball Conference Player of the Year in the Tri-Rivers West, comes to bat here. In the 6th, her team needs her now with a big hit.
484 hitter, leads the team in home runs. This be a memorable at-bat right now for Helmrichs.
Down 2-0 on the scoreboard. Hits it towards Woods. Over to second. The ball gets away from the covering Baker, and everybody's safe.
Baker tries to make the quick throw there to second. Probably the easier play is over to first after she made the play initially. And extends the inning. Another opportunity now for Edco.
And that is the first error of the game committed by the Blue Devils. And Andy, what did you say in the opening moments of this broadcast?
That was a long time ago. I don't even remember.
About Martensdale-St. Mary's, if you're Edco, what you're trying to do.
Well, yeah, you put the ball in play and let them throw it around a little bit. And that was, like you said, the first mistake that we've seen Martensdale-St. Mary's make in the field. They don't have to make many plays in the field behind Campbell German, so you have to just stay focused the entire time. She's got 9 outs on her own today. This is now 3 batters who have...
And that was not particularly hit hard, but it was a little bit off of where Woods was playing.
Yeah, she had to go to her right just a little bit. I still think the play there is to be made at first, but it's such a, when you're making that throw from short to second.
And that's hit up the middle, and that's going to score a run. Rounding third, here's the play, not in time. Throw down to third is not made. It's back to German, and Edco cuts the lead in half on an RBI double by Claire Alvis.
Alvis now 3 for 3 on the day. An opportunity now for Edco to tie this one up or take the lead. And they've hung around. They were able to get that order turned back over, and now this is all happening with 2 outs right now. It started with Caitlin Hahn on the walk. Helmrichs, that fielder's choice, and it's tough. You get that. I come back to that again. You're making that throw from short to second, and you're making it to a second baseman that's coming over on the move as well, trying to make that play. I just think the easier play to be made is throwing that back over to first. Huge opportunity right now for Edco.
McKenna Hofer up, the designated player sophomore, down 0-1. The pitch swings and miss. She's trying to make a lot happen here on a ball up and in.
Yeah, she was trying to get that one on the ground somewhere. Hofer bats .309. 0 for 2 today.
All this has been huge for Edco. Let's see what Hofer can do with 2 strikes. Hit, foul, and out of play to the right side.
German tried to blow the fastball by her right at the knees, but Hofer got just enough of it to stay alive at the plate. I think she'll come back to the rise ball here.
Or at least up and in on the rise ball. Either one, yep, the 0-2. That would have been a better pitch to swing at than what Hofer did before. And Coach Hughes, look at that smile. Huber down there. She's like, all right, you got a gift.
I think it just missed inside. I don't think anybody would have objected to that being called a strike, but just off the inside part of the plate.
Helmrich's at third, Alvis at second, Hofer at the plate. The 1-2 coming from German. Swing and a miss! Edco scores a run, cuts it in half. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Blue Devils.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why they are the proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union in the amazing Girls State Softball Tournament. They believe that by investing in our youth, we're investing in Iowa's future. Paul Yeager.
Thank you, Andy Pollock. Abby Hughes grounds out to Alvis. And there's 1 pitch, 1 out. Sydney Bears due up for Martensdale-St. Mary's as she digs in. Knee brace on that left knee. Hits it high in the air, but right at center. Shuffling feet just for the sake of doing so is Campbell Kirby. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Well, and this is where that pitching to contact and letting your defense make plays behind you that we've talked all game about with Eggleseder. An opportunity right now for a 3-pitch inning. Just not allowing much solid contact.
If Martensdale-St. Mary's can hold Edco, this will be the last batter, the last pitching that we would see of Eggleseder in the state tournament on the championship side. There'd be a consolation game, and I really think we're going to see her again.
Oh, yeah.
Before her career is done. Hit towards right and foul as Shelby Woods bats. She's 1 for 2 with a double today.
Not by that much that time. Fouled off.
You know, in baseball, it's always the, there's the hits that go into right on a good, fast pitcher because you can't get around on it. These softball players, they all, like you said, they hit all these fast pitches. They're used to it. Change up, misses.
Oh, yeah, you can't hide a subpar fielder out in right field. It doesn't work that way. It's that right field spot's almost it's a hybrid infield position as well, because there's a lot of those balls that you're looking at, hard ground balls that you're looking to get an out at first base.
The pitch to Woods misses. And the freshman will get another one here.
Audrey Helmrichs has had a really nice game behind the plate for Edco.
Swing and a foul back into the screen. Helmrichs is going to go to Co to play basketball. She was first team all conference for basketball. She was also their #1 golfer. But as you said, Andy, just a great presence behind the plate. And And that misses, and that'll put Shelby Woods on with a 2-out walk.
Haven't seen that happen much today from Eggleseder.
So Ani Berger brings her bat. She's 1 for 2 with the single and the second as well. 2-1 here in the 6th. Hit towards midfield, and then Alvis dives in to make the catch to retire the side. Blue Devils leave a run. We go to the top of the 7th, 2-1. Martensdale-St. Mary's.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
The team from Delaware and Clayton County, the Edgewood-Colesburg Vikings, are down to their final 3 outs. Taylor Huber is the coach, her second year as a head coach. Looks down at the batter, which is Marin Gall, one of her seniors. She's all-conference volleyball, plays basketball, also at state track. They're going to need her to be an athlete here. 6, 7, 8 due up for Edco. And that part of the lineup, and if you extend it to the 9 spot, has yet to get a hit, Andy.
It's, and honestly, they've had 3 hits. They've all come from the same spot in the lineup. Alvis is the only one in the 3 hits that Edco's had. Alvis has had all of them.
The pitch from German is swung on and missed. That is strikeout number 11 for German. 1 away here in the 7th. So Chloe Everett to go to work. This is where I need Chris Andringa to look up and read my mind, and he would slip me a piece of paper.
Which part are you looking up? Fastest game to
number of strikeouts in 1A. I know we're not close to it because I think I've called that game with the most strikeouts in a 1A game. And I know it was in a final. 2-1 is our score here in the 7th. The batter is Chloe Everett.
15 is that number.
And that was who?
Amber Loggeman, Earlham versus Don Bosco, 2012.
Okay, that was right before we started, so that is not the game I'm thinking of.
Did you have 2017 3A? Nicole Timmons, Davenport Assumption had 20 against Albia.
Yes.
2017.
Yeah, I had that one.
That's the all-time record.
And that 2017 is the 11:45 at night game.
After some rain delays.
Chloe Everett, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's where you hope you're not on for the 10 o'clock game the next morning, right?
Oof. The pitch. On the outside part of the plate, strike number 3.
Ball just put exactly where Bears called for it. Paints the outside corner for the strikeout looking.
And now we're down to the last out. Lauren Kirby, the sophomore. Let's see what the first baseman can do for the Vikings. First pitch is a strike.
German is cooking right now. Playing with a nice pace there in the circle.
A lot of times players make great strides sophomore to junior year. You always kind of hope that junior to senior year. I think German has made an incredible leap here, junior to senior year.
Well, and an incredible leap from what was a high starting spot already her junior season. Everybody knew who Campbell German was coming into the tournament last year. If they didn't, they certainly know who she is coming into the tournament now her senior year.
Vikings down to their last strike. The 0-2 coming from German. To Kirby. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 13 is out number 3 and win number 1 at the 2024 state tournament for Martensdale-St. Mary's. They've taken step 1 to get back into the title game in 24.
Well, and there's a great look at Campbell German there. They had runners on second and third with 2 outs in that 6th inning. Edco did. No one able to come across. Campbell German buckles down, strikes out the last 4 batters of the game. The competitor comes through and makes the plays for Martensdale-St. Mary's in the crunch time.
Campbell German, your obvious MVP here from the pitching circle, as the two teams exchange pleasantries after the game. We'll have a extending of the Martensdale-St. Mary's line. Looks like Campbell German has the honors. Actually, it's Brindley German who had the big base hit. Martensdale-St. Mary's, you will get to play again tomorrow night at 7 o'clock right here in a date in the state final. They'll play the winner of Fort Dodge St. Ed's and Collins-Maxwell. Andy, quickly as we get out of here, Edco, great all around. This is a great softball team.
Oh, I could mention about the 5th inning. They showed that they belonged in this tournament. They showed they belonged to fight with the 1 seed, and nothing to hang their heads about for Edco. They played an outstanding game today and hung right with them all the way to the very end.
Edco moves on, or Edco moves to the consolation. They'll face the loser of Collins-Maxwell and Fort Dodge St. Ed, which would be tomorrow afternoon at 12:45. For our entire crew here at the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, presented by Mid-American Energy, for Andy Pollack, I'm Paul Yeager. Andy, good season with you, as always. We will see you in a few weeks for basketball.
Football.
Well, I know that.
Basketball.
Football's first, but the next time you and I get to get paid to talk to each other, will be basketball, not later tonight.
We'll find a way.
We'll find a way.
Make it happen.
Thanks for watching. Martensdale-St. Mary advances here in Class 1A. So long from Fort Dodge.